Hello to all of my Aquarius. This is Queen Amun-Ra coming to you with your general reading. All right, Aquarius, let's get you ready for this week. Coming up. We're still feeling the effects of the eclipse, okay? Of hitting a reset button, a super new you. Both of your planets are currently retrograde. You are not in a spaceship. You're not overthinking anything anymore. Mercury has been retrograde twice so far in Aries the first time, the second time it was retrograde in Leo. So your confidence about speaking up about things is happening here. Stop overthinking things, Aquarius. If you need to cut ties and you need to speak up about something, you all are humanitarians. It is time for you to speak up. It's time for you to speak up. I'm getting some downloads for you all to kind of sort of speak up about some things. You know, first you're going to speak up to whoever you feel like your savior is, or your creator, or however, in a spiritual sense, through prayer, blocking people, whatever you need to do. Just hopefully this reading is encouraging you all to speak up, because you can be helping more people than you realize when you speak up. If you just kind of sit on some things, then people will never know what the heck is going on. If you just kind of, we're not talking about gossiping, we're talking about speaking to loved ones who you feel like is a safe space to talk to them, and just feel like, hey, I need to make a decision. If that's a husband, if that's a wife, hey, I need to cut some people off because I feel like what they did to me was foul, okay? You don't need to overthink that. You all are a fixed sign. You humanitarians, always think to yourself, would I have done that to them? Would I have done that to them? If the answer is no, pull out the sword. Pull out the, stop overthinking. This is super new you. We're in eclipse season. You're still feeling the effects of the eclipse. I am filled with energy. The I am has to do with your first house. Somebody, if you were creating cards, like writing affirmations, it deals with your first house. It deals with Aries. Aries is your rules first house. You are rule 11th house, right? So somebody had a first impression of you, and it could have been a lasting impression of you, that you were filled with a lot of energy, right? But energy could mean good or bad, right? Good energy, bad energy, whatever the case may be. The sexual energy. Remember, Aries is a masculine planet, and it's also a sexual planet. It's also a planet of assertion. It's a sign of assertion, which could be mistaken for aggression, right? So somebody may have had a first impression of you that for them could be a lasting impression, right? High vibrating Aries are courageous, energetic, and also pioneering, but low vibrating Aries is impulsive, aggressive, and also impatient. High vibrating Aquarius would be innovative, independent, and a visionary. Low vibrating Aquarius would be detached, unpredictable, and aloof. We don't need you to be low vibrational. We don't need you to be checked out somewhere. Both of your planets are currently retrograde. You're filled with energy. You're filled with energy. If you feel like you've been wronged in some way, shape, form, or fashion, your feelings are valid. I can't say it any clearer than that. If you feel like you still talking about the same thing over and over and over again, you feel like you've been wrong, somebody did something, and you keep repeating it over and over. First of all, if you're tired of hearing about it, I guarantee you the people around you are tired of hearing about it too. I guarantee you that. So the people around you, if your spouse or kids or somebody is tired of hearing the same old, over and over and over again. So hopefully with this reading, I can help you all with some things. Let's get into it. Alrighty. Let's get into it. You can actually find these mugs on my store, where you can get my t-shirts and things like that. The link will be below. I'll tag the link below for where you can get the t-shirts, but you can also get the mugs there, and the gear for the Let's Get Into It, right? Gear as well. And also from my oils as well, gemstones, crystals, oils. I think I even have a hair product over there. But yes, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. My high vibrating Aquarius, if you have been talking about something for the last 5, 10, 15 years, even 2 weeks, and you sitting going back and forth with yourself, and I don't know what I should do with it. I was there, for them, and they not really my friend, or I've been supporting certain family members, and they just keep taking. How does some people keep taking from you? Why aren't you just putting your foot down? You don't need to cuss people out. You don't need to go off. You don't need to be violent. You didn't need to be out here putting hands on nobody. None of that. Your sign is a sign of upright human being, right? Some signs have animals as their symbol, but yours is of a human being with a cistern of, you're pouring out a lot of wisdom and knowledge and innovation and ideas to people. It looks like water, right? This is where your emotional intelligence, your IQ and EQ need to be on point. You need to be high vibrational. First card out the deck, Knight of Wands. You're free of something. You're free of something. And if you are inspired to keep giving air to something, you're actually giving life to something. You're free of something. You're free of something. But if you keep talking about it, this Knight is 1 and 2 is 3, right? 1, 2. It connects us with the number 12, right? 1 and 2 is 3. If you keep talking about something, you're going to give life to it. So if it's an afterthought, let's say, for instance, you feel like somebody betrayed you and you keep talking about it, you're actually giving life to it. Fire cannot exist without air. It's going to go out. It's going to have a backlash. If you cut off, some of you all can instantly break these curses that people have been putting on you. They've been saying, oh, this person they're a garden tool, they're this and that, and so on. This wow energy, they got a lot of energy, they're a garden tool. Let me tell y'all something. Anybody who's trying to project that energy onto you, remember we're in Libra season, right? So it looks like they could have been a fire sign that try to project something onto you that they're really talking about themselves. They projected something onto you and it was horrible. Yeah, you were being sacrificed. You were being sacrificed. Somebody wanted to empty you out. And so what they will try to make it seem like, oh, that's all in your head, you maybe you need to have your head examined, right? But if you were friends or in a relationship with somebody who likes to gossip and talk about people behind their back, only you know that. If you sitting around a group of people and they talk about, oh, that person's a garden tool, y'all know what to do. If I was on Patreon, I could say it, but over here on YouTube, I can't. You know who you're sitting around who likes to gossip, talk about people behind their back, man or woman. You already know who it is. Somebody who loves to gossip and call people all kinds of names and stuff like that. And then they call you a name. Okay, so it looks like you moved on from them and they're calling you names because they want you to be sacrificed in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Yeah, somebody's saying you're into some kind of work. So they're trying to put a fire up under somebody they're talking to somebody. Night energy again is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. Somebody is trying to inspire somebody by putting a fire up under somebody to talk to you. They're talking about basically sacrifice. Y'all remember the movie 5 Heartbeats? What's the character's name? Red, whatever. And he was like, if y'all haven't seen the movie, y'all gotta watch the movie, right? He's like, my office hours are, and then you hear the person that was hanging upside down from a roof, 9 to 5, right? So you hear all these horrific stories that go on in different industries. It happens in every industry, not just the music industry, but somebody is putting a fire up under somebody. So somebody's being sacrificed by an organization, right? Here's a Hierophant card. Somebody's basically like, okay, so Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And this is Neptune's card. Neptune is currently retrograde. So basically somebody's saying that they made a lot of sacrifices for something, for somebody or an organization or whatever, right? And somebody is talking, two people are talking to somebody, a fire sign and an earth sign are involved in something. So a fire sign is basically saying, okay, we can sacrifice so. It's almost like people are having conversations about who to sacrifice, because the organization is basically saying, we've made sacrifices, okay? And you got these two people here that's sitting there listening, right? You got these two people here sitting there listening to this Hierophant, right? And somebody's basically like, okay, well, we've made a lot of sacrifices for these two energies right here. They are the key to something. They are the key to something. Like basically they work for us. These two energies, they work, so these two energies are talking to, somebody's like, we made all of these sacrifices and so on and so forth. So this is family members. These are family members. or a family member. And so you have been having nightmares. You may have been having some nightmares about something, right? And a lot of people, it's two sides of the sword. So somebody is basically like either somebody is saying that you're a nightmare, or you're saying they were a nightmare, or whatever the case may be. But it's giving people nightmares to hear you talk about something because you're so filled with energy, right? You know what, I'm kind of getting the feeling that you are not aware of what's going on. You're not aware. I feel like you, whoever you are, you're not aware of what's going on within an organization. I don't need y'all to overthink this though. Wake up from a nightmare. Cut all of these energies off. If you had two people, you got this looks like a male and a female here, that sacrificed you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because there's an organization that says they made a lot of sacrifices and you were the sacrifice. If you overthink this, I don't even know what to tell you. I really don't. You see these horses going in two different directions here, right? So basically, people are basically like, okay, we made all these sacrifices, and one is going this way, one is going this way, right? Because something has just been a complete nightmare. Something has been a nightmare. Whatever it is, I don't know if you have a platform or something, but something has been a nightmare. And so you got some people that's going this way, some people going that way, right? So people are split because they thought that these two energies were going to be the key to something, right? And then here we have the Ace of Swords. So this is where you go back through your mental Rolodex. Don't even overthink this, Aquarius. I'm trying to help you out with something. Don't even overthink this. Go back through your mental Rolodex and see who in your family would have had keys to your house or have that level of access to get to you behind closed doors. Some of y'all, it'll be narrowed down to just 5 people. Some of y'all could have had 9 people, who knows, 10 people, whatever. But somebody was sent in to deliver a last sword to you. This number 9 is death, connects us to death. They delivered the last sword. Either somebody got pricked with a needle, somebody wrote something out, because somebody feels like somebody has the keys to, two energies have the keys to your, and you're dealing with a copycat energy, okay? Because that's what this water is. You're dealing with a copycat energy here. Somebody thought, oh, this is, Pisces, like I said, is ruled by this. It's a water sign. That's the last sign in the zodiac. So find out what your zodiac sign in your 12th house is. For those of you all who, and I have a link for free birth charts on my website, queenamonra.com. Who would you have talked to that people feel like they could deliver that last sword to you? I hope y'all don't have people running in and out of your house. So many people that y'all can't even process who would it be. If your kids were trying to get, if your kids or a spouse or something thought that they wanted to be a part of something, the music industry, the government, textile industry, want to be a part of something, they could have had somebody that would have been that close to you. See how close these two energies are to this Hierophant energy here? They would have been able to get that close to you for somebody to do something. And so this is where you need to get real clear. Now that stuff is scattered and people are like having nightmares about what's being talked about, this is where you need to get crystal clear. This is where you do not need to overthink this. There's been too much overthinking behind closed doors. I'm basically handing y'all the keys at this point. I mean, in just my predictions, I'm handing you the keys, okay? This is where you go into, and I'm not anybody's God. I am a source. This is the creator. Right, this is where you say before you lay down, and when you watch this video, whatever time this video goes up. Sometimes I film videos and they just go up later, or early, or whatever. But this is where you go into real quick. Whoever you pray to, source, give me an exodus strategy. Whoever is involved in whatever, give them an exodus strategy. You're not just praying for yourself, but you're praying for other people too. Give them an exodus strategy out of a situation. Because if they're going through a nightmare and they're being told that they need to deliver one last blow to end everybody's nightmare, and they're having nightmares, they can't sleep, that mental anguish, source is saying now it's time. Now that people are scattered, your back is against the wall for them. This is where you need to be an intercessor prayer for somebody, okay? intercessor prayer warrior. This number 4, because somebody emotions are basically like it's their way or the highway. What you're dealing with is a bully. Somebody is being bullied. This could be a boy, this could be a girl, this could be somebody. But source is saying to you, here is the cup of water for you though. Think, think, think. If this is your kids or this is your spouse and they want to be a part of something, they could be up for a job interview or whatever's going on, and they have to do something it's like putting somebody through an initiation process. Okay, they got to do this thing to you to cause you a nightmare. But it's 2 sides of the sword, and you need to get clear in your brains and think. This has to do with somebody's something that you created, your child, or maybe you procreated with a spouse or somebody. This happened to do with a loved one. So they could be white, black, male, female, whoever it is. Pray for them that they get an exodus strategy out of a situation. Because picking up on this right here, I don't feel like you even know what's going on. That's what I'm picking up on here. I don't even feel like you even know what's going on. But this is a family member. Cancer rules 4th house. We're not necessarily talking about cancer, but this is having to do with somebody's mother. If you are a mother, if you're a woman, or even a man that's very nurturing, somebody is trying to push your back up against the wall. And so your back is, when your back is against the wall, your water is not, you're not folding, okay? You're not spilling water all over the place. Oh, well, who is it? I'm not sure who it is. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You are crystal clear. If you say you don't know who it is, then you probably shouldn't even be watching tarot. For real. Somebody got way too much going on in their life. Tarot needs to be the last thing you're looking at, for real. I'm just going to just be direct. You shouldn't even be, if you got that much going on that you feel like, okay, I'm confused. That's the whole purpose of whoever you're praying to, asking source for an exodus strategy, because somebody feels like their back is against the wall and you're picking up on their energy. It could be your kids, it could be somebody, but somebody shouldn't have that much going on in their life. And this is no judgment here, that you don't remember who's been in and out of your house. That you don't remember who's been in and out of your house. It's time to start praying for somebody. It's time to start praying for somebody. Source, show me so clear. It's almost like a blimp rode across the sky and said, okay, it's this person. They need your prayers right now. It could be 4 people in your family who feel like their back is against the wall because somebody felt like 2 people were the keys to something that was going to empty you out. Somebody feels like you work, that you feel with all this energy and you work. And so somebody said, okay, they're going to create a nightmare for you behind closed doors. Something having to do with an ink pen, because the pen is mightier than the sword, or a needle, or something having to do with supposed to cause you a bunch of nightmares. And people want to see, they don't seem like they're going through nightmares now. They don't seem like they're going through nightmares. So 4 people feel like their back is against the wall in your family. 4 people felt like they was going to use one person to deliver that last sword in your back. Whatever that looks like. Does it look like jail time? Did it look like you getting sick? Does it look like, what does it look like for you behind closed doors? You feel fulfilled. You feel fulfilled, right? So source is saying to you, because you feel fulfilled already, this is not the time. A prayer is what? And again, this is not religion class. A prayer is 5 seconds. Source, please cover, protect, so and so and so forth. I don't know what's going on. I'm unclear what's going on, but please give me the answers. Give me something quick. I need a quick answer that's going to help calm somebody's anxiety down. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're putting water on this fire. Help calm their anxiety down. I feel like you got a loved one who could work with 2 energies. That or either work for or work with 2 energies, and they're already divided. They're already split on some kind of a decision, right? They're already split because somebody knows that you're a prayer warrior and that you're filled with energy and that you're not operating in fear behind closed doors. Whoever you are, you're not an aggressive type, whoever you are, but you stand up to bullies. You stand up to bullies. And people who had a first impression of you first don't have that impression anymore of you. Somebody feels like you're already fulfilled in whatever kind of work you do, or like somebody, giving you some kind of label as being, some kind of worker. Y'all know what I'm saying. And so now somebody almost feels some kind of way. So I see you being successful. Start praying for loved ones. Before you cut people off, this is how you close out cycles in love. Before you just go and come in with a sword because now you feel like your back is against the wall. Now I'm scrambling, trying to figure out, I just need to cut this person off. If you're going to cut somebody off, at least, bare minimum, send them good energy, send them good vibrations, pray for them, something. Go to source for clarity. The overthinking piece, that's not you anymore. That person needs to be gone. That's not a super new Aquarius. That person needs to be gone. See how this person has on their shirt over it? You don't need to have your back up against the wall when you can just pray for people. Source, give me some clarity on some stuff. Who had access to my home? Who had access to my home that would have gone through some kind of humiliation ceremony that, if their back was against the wall, they may have sacrificed me. If they feel like their back was against the wall, they may have sacrificed me. And y'all sit there and think, well, I hope it wasn't this person. Then if you had to call the name, it was that person. Don't even overthink this. It was that person. Pray for them. Just pray for them. Okay? So, yeah. Here we have the King of Wands. You have an ancestor that's behind you. You have a spirit guide that is behind you, supporting you. Somebody told a family member of yours that's now split up, they no longer together. They told a family member, you was a fire sign and an earth sign in your family. They split up. They're gone in separate ways now because somebody thought these two energies would be the key to something, right? They were bullied, first of all, into doing something, and bully can come in many different ways. It doesn't have to come in the form of threatening somebody or whatever. But they've gone their separate ways. Just like you see these two horses gone their separate ways. But something caused you nightmares, and I hope you all are journaling. I really hope y'all are journaling. I have e-journals on my Etsy store for like $3. Learn how to journal. Don't get so busy that as an air sign you can't just take 5 minutes out of your day. If you got kids or a lot of your life is busy, scheduled, but please take some time out to journal. Because it's just the little things that you put in a journal that sometimes you go back to and you go, oh my God. Remember, time is relative, right? So you go, oh my God, why did I have a dream about such and such, right? And the dream was a nightmare. It may not have been something that was happening to you. It could have been happening to someone else that really needed your covering, your prayer. This is where the compassion comes in. Before y'all go start swinging swords and cutting people off, this is where you may need somebody was sacrificed, and so in turn you were supposed to be sacrificed. Somebody has been going through a nightmare, and now they feel like their back is against the wall again, and somebody's been like, we got your back, we got your back. No, but Source has your back. Source has your back. And I see you being successful because somebody is just as determined that they would be successful in the physical realm than you would be successful in the spiritual realm. You're a prayer warrior. Something was already done behind your back. Here we also have the Seven of Swords here, right? Recall all of your power. There's two energies here. Somebody has your back. Some people have your back in a situation against an organization who sacrificed somebody and thought that they had gotten away with something and who felt like they were successful at something. But you're successful. You're getting out in the sunshine. That's why I keep telling y'all, get outside in the air, Aquarius. Y'all in air, so I would tell you, Libra and Gemini this. Get out in your element. Get near water. See this right here? Get near water. I don't care. You could have a Cancer could be somebody's water sign. I mean your moon sign, because Cancer rules 4th house. Right? Somebody had a first impression of you, right? Wanted somebody to cut you off. It caused somebody some nightmares. Somebody else, 9 people said, okay, a Sagittarius could be now having nightmares right now. So you send some kind of spell work back. You send some kind of spell work back. 7 connects us with Libra, the Justice card. Some stuff was going on behind your back without you even knowing it. I don't care how busy your schedule is. Wake up, snap out of a trance. You got 2 people who will have your back in court. You got 2 people who would have your back in court. It's time to start praying, because now that some people have broken up, There's a fire sign and an earth sign who have gone their separate ways. So the karma has already started. This right here, this is karma. You're ruled by a karmic planet, right? So as strong as the organization was before, they're not as strong. You were dealing with two vain, vengeful, and green with envy spirits. These two cards right here, the Justice card and this Hierophant card, are both ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, and aesthetics, right? So any one of those industries, somebody could want to be a part of any one of those industries: art, music, something that was, whatever. But somebody felt like they had, these two were the key to causing some kind of legal issues for you. Okay? I need y'all to snap out of a trance, because they're going through their karma right now. People are going through their karma, and I see you being very successful. Somebody told, hey, if they sacrificed you, that these two people would be very successful in those areas: art, music, like I said, Venus. But you were dealing with two vain, vengeful, and green with envy spirits who wanted you sacrificed. Something having to do with a needle or a pen, okay? Somebody either wrote something, somebody either did something having to do with ending you, okay? I can't say this no clearer than that. While you were in hermit mode, your portal started opening up. Like somebody was opening up the top of a laptop. A light on the inside of you started opening up. You started waking up from a trance. Whatever you were going through in life, you could have been going through some kind of a rebirth. You could have had kids. That's a rebirth, right? Where, people get, when they say mommy brain, whatever that means. Or you could have been going through some kind of major life change. We're talking about number 9, where your ending caused other people a nightmare, because these people had talked about this. People had been saying that you were a nightmare, that you were sleeping around, that you was a night where you are into some kind of work. They got these two energies. It looks like a man and a woman on this card here. Got two people saying that they got, okay, we got the keys to this. It may not be physical keys, but one of them, at least one of them, could have been a man or woman that had access to you, either talking to you, coming into your home, something like that. And whoever the energy is now that people have gone their separate ways, whoever's still connected to you, it could be your son, your daughter, a sibling, whoever. That is, these 4 energies in your family need prayer. Source showed me every single person. You're just praying for your entire family. Just say that. You're praying for your entire family. Because you're dealing with two vain, vengeful, and green with envy spirits. Give me some more information. Source, give me some more information that overstepped a boundary. So that would have meant somebody physically sent somebody into your home and they overstepped the boundary. Somebody could have got access to your computer, your files, or something. Think, Aquarius. Did you start a business? Did somebody take something from you? They didn't give you the information back. Think. Did you give people access to your financial records? Did you start seeing a decline in your money? Think. Because that is exactly who was sacrificed to come into your home to sacrifice you. Think. Somebody said something to make you cry. This is 5 of Cups here. 5, 6, and 7 of Cups connects us with Scorpio, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be a Scorpio. But somebody said something to you about your sex life. Because Scorpio connects us with a moon in Scorpio. Somebody could have a moon in Scorpio, but somebody says something to you about your sex life, like who you may have been with in the past. But what they were alluding to was that you were some guarding tool. That's what they were saying. I'm trying to give y'all every clue under the sun so y'all know exactly who was sacrificed. And if you had a nightmare about them, it was probably true. You were probably picking up on a gift that you have, and you were you probably are a high priestess. Whoever you are, you're probably high priestess. And somebody felt like, okay, I can't do this, but somebody's back is against the wall. Y'all need to start praying for somebody, because somebody is now crying about something. Like they don't want to do something else. They don't want to be a part of something else. So it's time for you to send somebody a text message, email, call them, something. Okay, listen, have a conversation. Have a conversation. Yeah, here's the 8 of Swords. Somebody's scared of jail time. What did I tell y'all before? Somebody's afraid of being restricted. Recall all of your energy. and send back all energy that does not align with your highest timeline. Start praying for loved ones. Just start praying for them. Because I guarantee you somebody had no idea what was going on. I guarantee you somebody had no idea what was going on. You know what this is? Because the Ace of Cups speaks to love, right? It speaks to, it speaks to a lot of things. Ace of Cups could speak of, you could have a new love coming across your path, and you could be in, and so, you know, a new love in your life could mean like a new baby. It could mean a new pet. It could mean a new love interest, you know, like a new man or new woman or whatever. And this is where I don't want somebody to get into their spaceship and zone out somewhere. If you have loved ones that you have had dreams that they were being sacrificed, right? And you don't know for certain because they're not telling you something, because two people were ruthless. Source is saying to you, they could have been terrified that somebody was going to jump out, arrest them, lock them up, you know, detain them, or you or somebody, right? Somebody going to be, this is somebody's ex. This is somebody's ex that's tied to an organization. That's what this is. And their family. This is somebody's ex and their family. There's an earth sign involved, a fire sign involved, a water sign, a Cancer is involved in something, right? So a Leo and a Capricorn are involved in something. A Cancer is involved in something. A Gemini says something about, you know, somebody's going to get locked up or whatever. 7 connects us with Libra. That's the Justice. This is in the minor arcana, right? But you also see the Justice card in the major arcana here. You got a Leo that's basically like saying that they have somebody's back, but you also have another Leo that's basically like, okay, they gonna lie in wait in something. They're gonna jump, they're gonna pounce on something as soon as it's a bunch of chaos and confusion. This is why I don't need y'all to be in a spaceship for real. I really don't. Both of your ruling planets are retrograde. You need boots on the ground for real. Y'all need to be in total focusing on getting focused. If you have a spouse and your spouse has been telling you something, you know, for the longest time, then maybe it's time to listen. Maybe it's time to listen. Not the time to be fighting with your spouse and confused and all this, talking to 15,000 people. Right? There's a lot of money involved. And money is trying to come in. For some of you all, you could feel like a new love, somebody could feel like a new love is approaching you, and it's a lot of money involved in something, and they could be in their head. That could make somebody scared, like, okay, they got a new love in their life, they're gonna just forget about, this could be your kids, this could be a sibling who was already sacrificed. Somebody, they could be like, oh, they got love in their life, they're gonna forget all about me, and now I'm in trouble, and whatever. This is not to get somebody all riled up and scared. Just go to source and pray, whatever your belief system is. I can't tell you, like I said, this is not religion class. Some people have gone, the crowd has dispersed, okay? And so some people are like, okay, they want you to believe that something was all in your head. It was not. I'm telling y'all, it was not all in your head, because you had a nightmare about somebody. You had a nightmare about something happening to somebody. And as much as they poured out, it still wasn't enough. Somebody poured out something, it still was not enough, but a line was crossed. A line was crossed, and somebody's basically like, well, this is part of the tradition, and we just do this and that, and so on and so forth. But they were ruthless. They were ruthless with somebody. Here's a Chariot card. I see a big win for you. A big win. Because not only do some of these people, this right here, this is something secret. They did something secretly to somebody wearing masks, and it overwhelmed somebody. It overwhelmed somebody, right? So you got some people that have your back, because I feel like this is some kind of an initiation process done by an organization. Somebody wants to be a part of something. Somebody says, well, here's the key. If you want to get into something, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. So this could be an organization. This could be your apartment that you lived in. It could be your home. Somebody, it could be a husband and a wife that says, okay, well, we got keys. We can give it to maintenance. They can get in. That could be for somebody. But two people are vain, vengeful, green with envy for whatever reason. I don't know why. It could have something to do with spirituality or religion, because we talk about fire. Fire connects us with solar plexus, so that would be like religion or spirituality. Somebody taking some kind of action, but somebody did something that was so overwhelming to someone Your moon could be in Cancer. Your moon, whoever you are, your moon could be in Cancer to gain access to someone's computer. That's how serious something is. That's just how serious something is. Somebody wants to gain access to your computer, but you are a computer. Like you are your database, like through your memory. So somebody could want to have access to your Akashic record. Somebody could want access to. This is where, again, I don't need y'all to check out. I don't need y'all to check out. Something really made somebody cry. Hearing something about you. It's about you and someone else. So this is where you need to get focused, because there's a lot of money involved in something. So I see you being able to defend your decision. Like I said, because you've already won. You've already won. Put these two together. Somebody's already experiencing their karma here, right? If you're making a decision to stop, if you already made a decision to stop talking to someone, just pray for them, because they're going through their karma right now. Just pray for them. If you're sitting here overthinking this, then you haven't gone through your own rebirth during this eclipse season. We had a total lunar eclipse, and it was a blood moon, and then we had a new moon, a super new moon, which is a solar eclipse. That's a super new moon. We already had that already, so we're still feeling the effects of the eclipse season. In order to stop nightmares from happening, you have to first stop talking about it. Stop talking to who you think caused the nightmare, and stop talking about the nightmare, because somebody is really in their head about something. Like something really shook somebody up. Okay, something really shook somebody up. So you need to be not the overthinking person this time. So stop talking about something, and just take some kind of action. Just go ahead and say, okay, I'm gonna cut that conversation off, because somebody is really scared. Like something was said to somebody that it shook them up so bad, because there's a lot of money involved that's coming your way. This is coming your way. So you're going to be defending your decision to move on from something without even coming across as defensive, because you got some people who have your back already. They've already talked to somebody on your behalf. Whoever you are, stop talking about it and start cutting people off that you feel like who have access to your life, and who would overstep a boundary with your kids, your spouse, your sibling, your family member, who would overstep a boundary. Some people have already talked on your behalf to some energies. You already won a lot of money. It's coming in. The whole message for you all, whoever you are, Aquarius, is to stop overthinking. You give too much thought to stuff. And y'all already know what my zodiac sign is. If you saw my whole birth chart, I got all my signs up here. I put my whole birth chart on the second channel, so that's wide open. Stop overthinking something. If you really feel like somebody was being sacrificed and they wanted to sacrifice you, caused you a lot of money, caused you a lot of heartache and pain, nightmares, all of that other stuff, cut every single person connected to them off. This is not rocket science, for real. You don't even need to overthink this. But whoever was sacrificed to either have you put in some kind of a mental institution or end your life in some way, shape, form, or fashion, one, you're going to stop talking about it. You can journal about it. But then two, you can stop talking to every single person that was connected to this. Because apparently somebody, all they cared about was the big money. These are family members who all they cared about was the big coin. And I'm not saying Bitcoin, I'm saying big money. That's all they cared about. And it literally almost drove somebody crazy, or it did drive them crazy. They could be still stuck on processing something, trying to gain some clarity as to how in the world, when their back was against the wall, why didn't they just go into prayer mode? They weren't even thinking clearly at the time. We're not giving anybody a free pass, but somebody could have been so overwhelmed by something. Somebody could have been just literally stuck on processing, but that was the goal, to tell somebody that you love that would be so overwhelming for them. You notice they didn't say it to you, Aquarius, because you would have responded. Remember, your energy is directed outward, right? So it had to be a receiving energy. Receiving energies are earth signs and water signs, right? Are earth signs and water signs. Ascending energies are fire signs and air signs. If somebody had told you something, guess what? You would have said something right back to them. Like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Let's get everybody on the horn. Let's get everybody on the phone. I'm saying this because I'm seeing these animals here. But like, let's get everybody on the phone. Like, wait, what? Right, what? Well, wait a minute, what's going on? So somebody who was in the middle of, because this connects us with Gemini too, a fire sign and an earth sign was talking about you are a nightmare. At least 9 energy saying you are a nightmare. Nobody wanted to hear your side of the story, okay? I don't want y'all to overthink this. Every single one of them need to be cut off. These are family members. They need to be cut off with the quickness, because it's causing somebody else nightmares now to even hear you talk about it. So if this is your spouse and you've been saying, I can't believe my friend did this, or my family member did, stop talking to your spouse about it, or your kids, or whatever the case may be, and just cut them off. Or just cut them off. Cut them off. They crossed a line. You don't need to hear this side of the story. No, nothing. If this had to do with your kids or your spouse or whatever, I don't even know what y'all need to talk about at that point anyway. Recall all of your power. Meaning that pray for whoever these energies, family members, cause a nightmare for you and somebody else by sacrificing them and telling them to sacrifice you. That's the end of that. That could have meant jail time for you. That could have meant you've been put into some kind of insane asylum or whatever they call it. Bottom line, like I said, something was done with a needle or something was done with a pen. You got some people who are already backing you up. You got big money coming across your path. Stop talking about it and be about it. Cut these people off. That's how you're going to be about it. You don't need to cuss them out. You don't need to get their side of the story. You don't need to ask why. No, nothing. You have enough in your memory to know who would do some foul mess, secretly do some foul mess behind your back. If you're still talking about it, you're giving it way too much thought. Cut them off. Okay? Because judgment is coming down on some people. Judgment is coming down on some people for doing what they did to you, your kids, or spouse, or somebody. You got that core unit right there. Even if you're a single parent and you just got 1 child, 2, 3, whatever the case may be, karma has already happened. It's happening. These people are terrified. It's already happening. You don't need to talk to them. What you need to say to them? Nothing. 2 of Cups. This is why I know you picked up on the nightmare. You know exactly what happened to them. It's something sexual in nature. There was a Leo involved in something. Leo sun and a Leo moon involved in something. I know it's a moon because we're talking about water here. Leo sun, Leo moon. Somebody told somebody they would have their back in a situation. This medical symbol right here, you're dealing with a doctor or a nurse. A needle or a pen is involved in something. You're dealing with a doctor or a nurse, somebody in the medical field. So someone you went to get some kind of checkup and somebody seemed like they, let me see. Hold on. If you, okay. Let's break this all the way down. Let's break this all the way down. If you're dealing with, if you went to the doctor and the doctor asked you anything about your feet or your brow chakra, like right between your eyebrows, right? Your head area, from your feet up to your head area, whether it's your feet, your pineal gland, your toes or anything like that. Something having to do with the medical field. If you went to a doctor's appointment for a checkup, and somebody asked you about, your feet or your right between your eyes, like maybe if you had a headache or something like that, have you been having headaches and all this other stuff? If it was, you could have been having back problems. You and Capricorn are both ruled by Saturn. So something happened during a Saturn return. A Saturn return is like if you had a baby, got married, something where you may have needed some help for some people. They would have had access to personal identifiable information. Okay, that would be your IDs. ID. Some people copied some stuff. They said they would have somebody's back in something. So somebody could have been putting stuff, let's say, on the Xerox machine or the copier machine or whatever. But 6, 7 right here. And somebody was in a very poisonous environment. This would have been somebody who would have been in an environment. So if you know somebody is not a drinker, or you know them to not to do any kind of substances, when you talk to them, this is what you talk about in your memory. You would have remembered something about them did not sound the same. Something about they either sounded like they were inebriated, they were under some kind of other spiritual influence, like drugs or alcohol. Okay, I can't say that no clearer than that. If Taurus is, if Libra is involved, the parts of your body it would have affected would be your kidneys, your urinary bladder, your veins, your skin, your then in that area, right? If a Taurus is involved in something would have dealt with your thyroid. Think, who do you know in the medical field? Friends, anybody that you would have connected with, created some kind of bond with, sister bond, brother bond, and they could be a nurse or a doctor. They work in the medical field. This is a medical symbol right here. They told some kind of lie behind you and somebody's back. They told some kind of lie behind you and someone's back, right? And 4 and 2 is 6, so it could have been you and a spouse, or you and your kids, or you and somebody. They told a lie behind you and somebody's back because you were being sacrificed and didn't even realize it. It could have cost you jail time. It could have cost you a mental institution. But something was done behind your back, and it made somebody cry. And right now, the evidence is so overwhelming, it's not even funny for what they did. Okay? Somebody that you were married to is somehow connected to overwhelming somebody. Married to, thought about marrying to, or a married couple, something having to do with that. Something about a crossroad, right? Somebody said you went to a crossroad. A crossroad could be anywhere. It's at the light. Where's your light? Crossroad. Y'all know what a crossroad is. Anyway, something having to do with your thyroid, your neck, your vocal cords, your throat. So this is why so much money is involved in something. Let's say, for instance, you're a singer, right? Let's say, for instance, you're a singer, and somebody has somebody to do something to you that would have caused your problems with your vocal cords, right? Let's say, for instance, you have a friend that's a doctor or a nurse who has a doctorate degree, or somebody who can, write out prescriptions. They have a DEA number, right? Drug enforcement a number, right? Let's say they're not your doctor, but they wrote a prescription for you. That would have been illegal all into itself, right? They can go back and check the records or whatever. Let's say they wrote a prescription for you. Let's say you're a singer, for instance, right? And they gave you some kind of, they wrote out something that would have cost you, would have affected your vocal cords, like a muscle relaxant, right? In trouble. They straight up, they shouldn't have did what they did. I mean, they're not your doctor or whatever. They put their cells in jeopardy, right? Let's say they just did all kinds of stuff, just writing scripts for all kinds of stuff they're not supposed to be. They're on the investigation anyway. And the reason I know that, because people are looking through their files. People are now meticulously looking through their files, because they saying that they know who. It's like they can't stop themselves. Somebody is dealing with a bullying spirit that's connected to an organization. So that's that. Something could have affected your thyroids, right? So go get a checkup. In other words, you're going to go get a checkup. You're going to the doctor to get a checkup because somebody was being sacrificed. And I'm not trying to make anybody paranoid. If those parts of your bodies were affected, this information that I'm sharing with you, you can go look up what parts of your body the moon affects. Like, what parts of your body does the moon affect? I think you can find it on the Farmer's Almanac, whatever. But you can just Google that. Like, what parts of your body does the moon phases affect? Okay, when the moon is in this sign, what part of the body can it affect? When it's in this sign, what part of the body does it affect? But two people have gone their separate ways now, and you don't need to talk about it anymore, because some people did some things for you behind your back to protect you, because I always say with the 7 of Swords, not everybody that's talking about you when you leave a situation is saying something negative about you. Okay, if you know you're a person that, oh my God, I really like, let's say this picture right here. Oh, I really like that person's shoes. You know, I really like the way their hair is, you know, whatever. That's talking about somebody behind their back, but you're not making disparaging comments. Y'all get the point, right? So some people got your back. And these are other professionals that's connected to other professionals that can also meticulously look at their schedules. Okay, they have access to things going through their computer file. They can look through other things as well. So some people that's experiencing their karma right now, right now their head is spinning because of how much money is involved in something. Okay, their head is spinning, y'all, because they're going through their karma right now. Y'all are fine. I'm telling you, fine. That's why you can defend your decision to move on from something without even coming across as defensive. You don't even have to talk about it anymore, because readings like these or readings like other people's readings are helping you all, so that y'all don't have to sit there, oh my God, this right here would be in your mind, right? Don't let it dry up your creativity. Okay, don't let it dry up. Don't let it neglect your husband, your wife, if y'all been having an amazing, you know, intimacy life or whatever. Don't sit there, keep talking about the same thing if you're not gonna cut people off, for real. Don't let it mess up your marriage. Somebody could be married or thinking about getting married. Don't let that mess up your marriage. These people, they just need to be cut off. They need to be cut off. They sacrifice somebody and want to sacrifice you. Let's move it on down here. Okay, so if a Virgo is involved, it could affect your pancreas, your small intestines, your digestive tract, right? There was a big money at risk here, a lot of money. So a lot of these people could be facing for real jail time because of what they did to cause a nightmare for you and somebody else behind. And here you are behind closed doors. And I know that because of the 9 and Ace of Swords. They talked to somebody and basically caused them a nightmare. And because y'all are soulmates, you picked up on something. But see, the difference is with you, like I'm telling you right now, when your back is against the wall, you tap into source. You start praying, whoever you are, you start praying and tapping into source. And so you know exactly who these two energies are. You know exactly who these two energies are. So you still got somebody who is still trying to spry and scry, looking through your computer, your mental Rolodex, all of this. Y'all don't even need to overthink this. I'm for real. Y'all, if a Cancer is involved in something, and by the way, if somebody who is not your physician wrote you a prescription for something, for anything, I know y'all still have copies of it. And if you don't, somebody has access to it. If you had to fill a prescription or whatever, and they know they're not your physician, or they have it, like I said, DEA number or whatever the case may be, whatever it is, guess what? Wherever you had to fill it, they have records of it. So if a Cancer is involved, it would have affected your stomach, mucus, breast area, womb, ovary area. If a Cancer was involved, or somebody's mother was involved in something, it would have affected. You may have had tenderness and other. I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm just trying to tell you the parts of the body that it affects. If a Pisces was involved in something, excuse me, like I said before, it would have affected your feet, your pineal gland, you know, your entire body, basically, your whole body, everything. It would have affected your entire body. Somebody wanted to completely cause you a nightmare. A complete nightmare, just with a needle. So if you had any strange bleeding or something like that, like you round somebody was behind you and pricked you or something like that, and all of a sudden it's like your whole life has changed. These energies are going to jail. There's no and, ifs, or buts about it. Because these energies would have you're dealing with some very, not only proud energies, you're dealing with some very arrogant spirits, very stubborn, very domineering spirits who like to sit and wait, right, and cause issues with people. But something has caused you nightmares, and these energies actually bragged about it. They bragged about it. Oh yeah, we got access to this. We got access to records. You could be dealing with, if it's in the military, you could be dealing with somebody who's high ranking in the military, because you're talking about a leader. So think about when you may have walked away from something. You could have gone somewhere, whether it's a daytime or nighttime or whatever the case may be, and something could have pricked you. But an organization is behind this. A spiritual or religious organization is behind this. And it's because of two energies. These right here, these two energies right here. Or two types, they could be karmic couples. They could be married couples, karmic couples, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, some karmic couples. They could be two men, two women, it's like a whole, like every time you went and got in your spaceship when your planet was in retrograde, that's the full card, that's Uranus, and you're off da 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 da. You know, I'm thinking about, you know, the distance between Saturn and Uranus, or let me look up this and that. These energies were plotting and planning. And these are leaders. These are leaders. If they're in the military, they're officers or high ranking. That's how much money is involved in something. It's a lot of money involved in something. Yeah. And if you were ever in a same-sex relationship, or your kids in a same-sex relationship, this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted you gone. See how these people are waving? They want the parents and the kids gone. You're basically somebody's judging somebody, basically saying, you know, oh, we don't want them gay people in our community. We don't want them or their kids in a part of the community. We don't want, this is an organization that's behind something. We don't want gay people in our, you know, establishment, in our building, our neighborhood. We don't want this and that. And here's the thing. First of all, you're a hardworking person. You're free, whoever you are. I don't know what people's sexual preferences, and I honestly don't really care. I don't really care. Somebody could have misjudged you. Somebody could have assumed something. But I can tell you this: all 10 people who sit around this table recorded you. So that would have said. So they would be saying, "Oh, well, we were just lying about such and such and such and such." No, they weren't. No, they weren't. You're dealing with energies who are uncomfortable with their preferences, who was sitting around. You're dealing with two energies. They got kids. Somebody dealing with two women who have kids themselves that have either been in a same-sex relationship or currently in a same-sex relationship, but they don't want to be kicked out of a circle. They don't want to be kicked out of a circle. So you may not be in a same-sex relationship, but maybe your kids, you know, tried something or whatever the case may be. And so somebody basically, they don't want them, that group of people. I mean, get ready to get paid, whoever you are. You're about to get paid big money. Because some people made a decision. They made a decision, hey, we don't want that kind of people. Whoever you are. Your wishes are being fulfilled right now. I think I broke it down as far as I can break it down. Yeah, we got 6-9 right here. Right. Yeah, we got they doing all kinds of stuff behind closed doors. But yet and still, you must be a person who is a very free-spirited person, who is just like no shame in your game, whatever the case may be. And again, you could be in a heterosexual marriage, but it could be your kids. It could be you could have adopted kids, but somebody's trying to keep something a secret within their circle. But so they're gonna do something to death. They're gonna be ruthless with it. Like, okay, we don't want our secrets out, and so you're talking about something, and it's causing us nightmares and blah 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 blah. But see this medical symbol right here? Think about who you know that could be a friend who could be writing scripts for you or somebody else, because people are going through nightmares right now. They like, I wish Queen Amun-Ra would shut that blankety blank up. But then they would have to tell every other tarot card reader to shut up. Right? But people get the message loud and clear. That's the thing about judging people, because people want you out of they want you and somebody out of the community, you and your kids out of the community. But it mirrors how people treat them, and they project this. Remember, the moon is we're in Libra season, and source is exposing people that you would have had their back, and they turned right around and stabbed you in the back. They pulled over 10 cups. Somebody was trying to stop your north node, your 10th house, whatever your sign is in your 10th house. You must be already in your career or your vocation. They felt like because people in their career choice or their vocation and calling on their life would have been ruthless and ended their work. These are not the type of people that would say to you, especially if you feel like you made a bond with somebody, you feel like, okay, this is like my sister, or this is like my brother, or whatever the case may be. These are not the type of people. They're so ruthless and so money hungry and so money driven, whoever these two energies are. Instead of them, if you really feel like you built a bond with them, and this is why you cutting them and everybody that's like them off, right? Let's say you're not in the LGBTQIA plus community, or let's say you're the A, right? Maybe you are asexual. Maybe you're not attracted to anybody, right? Still, the fact that they're judging you is just wild all unto itself, you know. But something is a tradition, you know, for somebody. Instead of these people that you thought you made a bond with saying to you, hey, you know what? You got to be real careful about talking about that in the workplace. Or you got to be real careful about talking about that in church or mosque or temple or whatever, because these people are ruthless. Instead of them saying that, that would have been a better thing. No, but because money is involved. Make no mistake about it, because a lot of money is involved in something. That's the only reason why these energies didn't speak up, because that is their love language. You're thinking, oh, I had this person's back. I love this person. This is like my brother or sister or whatever. I guarantee you talk to one of these energies over the phone, and as soon as you mention somebody is in the medical field, they pause. That pause right there lets you know they were connected. They all are part of the same organization. So congratulations. This is a super new you. They put somebody in a very poisonous environment to end you. Whoever was holding this last sword, they put them in a poisonous environment. They could have been over drinking. Somebody whose sex could have been involved. Something was so overwhelming for somebody. But here you go. There's your answer right there. There's your answer right there. Congratulations. These people have lost their entire mind. Somebody didn't even ask you anything. They just went right in. They heard big money was involved. Oh, what? Love language. We don't love nobody. We love the coins. We love the moolah. Moolah, baby. Death in reverse. Yeah. So yeah, that death spell they sent to you came right back. If they were worried about their money or they were worried about their religion, everything has been exposed. Everything has been exposed because they crossed over a boundary. Yep, somebody dealing with a Taurus. Yeah. You could be in your divine masculine energy, but all of that spell work has been sent back, and you're grateful. You're grateful. Yeah, you're grateful. Yeah, so you may have seen those spotted lantern bugs or whatever and I put something on my community page, or you could have seen a butterfly, but you've gone through a major rebirth in your cards. Some people are so grateful that you're enlightening. This is why I always tell people, answer the call in your life, right? Because whatever career you're in, you don't need to quit your job. You're still on your return to pure consciousness anyway. You don't need to quit your job because that's part of your calling. It's part of your vocation, right? That inner calling. But if you've been seeing those lantern bugs or whatever, that's about creating some kind of a boundary, a very firm boundary. I put some information on my community page there. Or you're going through, like, people are now talking about your rebirth. They're now talking about how you form boundaries, that you're talking more, you're more confident. Remember, we had in Mercury, we had this year when Mercury goes retrograde, it'll be retrograde. When it kicks off, it'll be retrograde, and it was already retrograde in Aries, and it went retrograde in Leo. The next time it goes retrograde, it'll be in Sagittarius. So that's all three fire signs, right? So adding air, you talking, this right here, you were inspired to talk about these energies. You were inspired to talk. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever kind of platform you have, talk about it. Talk about it. Get it out. Be confident. Slow down. Stay out of that spaceship, right? Because people are now going through karma. They couldn't stop it if they wanted to. And there's nothing that you did. There's nothing that you did at all. Nothing that you did. But it started with somebody. Either somebody was attacking you or somebody that you're married to, or maybe they were attacking to you and somebody that you were married to, and y'all were thinking, oh my God, I'm going to jail, this and that, and so on and so forth. So no, you're not. No, you're not. These energies decided to use their leadership positions, and somebody, you got two energies who have your back because they have full working knowledge about how it works. When I say knowledge, make sure you are journaling. Make sure you're journaling, because that's now in the past. It's now a part of your past life. Yeah. Somebody is now realizing just how strong you are. Just how strong you are. And now people are pouring out. They are emptying themselves out, talking about stuff, emotions, and all of that. Divinity, right? It's like I said, something is just a matter of time. People are now starting to tell the truth about something. They're starting to tell the truth because why? You spoke up. Your love language is okay. Oh no, if somebody's in a same-sex relationship, you're like, hey, look, whoever you are, I feel like you would have said to a person, like, be careful when you're talking about that at work, or you're talking about that in a religious setting. Like, you never know who is whom. Some people will be okay with it. Some people wouldn't judge you, but some people would judge you so harshly, to get you fired, whatever the case may be, right? And so, yeah, so something could have happened in your personal and your professional life. You could have gotten fired from a job, or like you could have, like I said, you could have worked somewhere where somebody talked about your relationships, and you could have left, and you could have been in a religious setting where people were ruthless. But nevertheless, some people were talking about you behind your back. So, yeah. So you're in a very powerful position, whoever you are. 4 and 6 is 10. Something is over. You're in a very powerful position. Yep. So, an earth sign could have finally gotten off the fence and started enlightening people about what was going on. They were finally able to get focused. Right, they were finally able to get focused. Somebody was thinking about ascending higher, and they finally were able to get focused and start talking about some people what was doing, because people realize that you're a healer. You are a healer, right? And so, also somebody may need to get their eyes checked as well, right? So it's a relief for a lot of people on all four corners. Something that's hitting all four corners. This message could be hitting all four corners. Somebody could be like, dang, this thing, we broke this thing down, right? Here we have, these energies could have known that you were going through a storm in life, and it was like all these energies were like, okay, well, we gonna catch them on all, we gonna capture them in every corner of their lives, every corner of their lives. We got the earth sign, we can do this. The fire sign can do this. A water sign can do this. So somebody could attack your significance, right? What's significant to you? That's solar plexus. The basic need for solar plexus is significance, right? So somebody could have said, well, we're going to attack what is significant to you. That would have instantly put you in jail. Being violent. That's why I always tell y'all on my channel, no violence on this channel. Like, listen, it's better to let karma do its thing. Somebody really wanted you in jail. That is why I'm saying, if you overthinking, somebody must have did something to you or your kids or whatever, or your spouse, cut them off. Stop talking about it. Stop complaining about it. Just cut them off, y'all. I'm trying to help you all. You don't need to be out here scuffling and scrambling all in the streets, hair all wild, looking like a wild animal. Just cut people off. Let karma do its thing. It can do much better than you can. Somebody also wanted to attack your... they wanted you to say something. It's almost like somebody would say, well, I dare them to say something, because as soon as they come out the house, I'm going to pounce on them. That's so low vibrational. That would have been attacking your air, right? So people were waiting outside to pounce on somebody, right? The fire part would have trying to trigger you to get you upset, to see if you had a temper, right? To see if you or somebody had a temper, and warn your husband, wife, kids, No matter what somebody says about you, somebody could have been like, oh, this person is a garden tool, they this and that, they slept with this person. Tell your kids, hey, look, you could have been of a certain age group where y'all played the dozens when y'all grew up, and you just got better at your mama jokes, right? You know, or don't say anything at all. Like, okay, well, don't tell me, tell them to their face. Like, but let your kids know, hey, listen, you know, people are constantly trying to get people to see if they got a temper. So somebody want to attack all 4 areas of your life. They wanted some kind of reason to have you, to end you in some way. They wanted to create a nightmare for you. But these 2 energies right here, one of them even told you, oh, they thought about having a kind of particular relationship with somebody at one point in time, because they have. And somebody has access to it. They already know. But somebody wrote some kind of a script. That's what you see the medical symbol here. We're gonna get together. We're gonna lie behind some people's backs, because they felt like their back was against the wall. Yeah, they're back against the wall now. Yeah, that's what's happening. Y'all don't have to do anything else. Karma is already in play. Judgment is already coming down on these energies for what they did. They're part of your past. So if you're having dreams or whatever about it right now, it's because it's, like I said, it's a residual. It's a super new you. You're not sitting on stuff, overthinking stuff until things expire and dates pass and all of this other stuff. Yeah. Somebody's about to get paid for all this stuff. And some people getting some jail time. A Scorpio is telling on everybody. A Scorpio, their sun or moon sign could be a Scorpio. Somebody was like, okay, they switch for time. Somebody is basically like, okay, I don't want time. I don't want to, like, for all the stuff that they did, they start telling on everybody. They literally start telling on everybody. This one did this one. This one did that. This right here. So and so. This one was sacrificed. I know how all of this worked. But somebody's a sun. I mean, either sun or moon in Scorpio. That's how somebody was able to get their time reduced. Either they got out of jail or they got their time reduced. Somebody, because I'm looking at the 8 of Swords here. Somebody had already, usually with the 8 of Swords, they throw a sheet over a mirror. Basically, somebody was like, okay, this person isn't coming back. You know, this person, this is the end of this person. Somebody says, oh no, heck no. That's why this card came out in reverse, because a Scorpio poured out everything. They were like, oh no, I'm telling on this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So get ready to get paid and stay out of a spaceship, especially Aquarius, when your ruling planets are retrograde, especially when Uranus is retrograde. Please, please, please. You don't have to get a birth chart reading with me. You can pull your birth chart for free if you want to sit there and read all those pages. If you want to, you can, but go with free first. Go with free first, okay? I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very protective of my community. You could be a person that's wishing my channel would just go off, you know. I'm really no respecter of person. But I'm telling y'all, major something is happening. Some people already started doing stuff behind your back. These people were ruthless. 603, financial balance. There it is. Check your habits. This is a wake-up call from your angels. The flow of money reflects the flow of energy. Your angels want you to feel secure and balanced in your state of mind, and your finances contribute to that, right? Take time today to get real about what's coming into and going out of your bank account, and so make any organizational changes that you can improve the flow of funds. You got a lot of money coming your way because of all the stuff that these energies did to sacrifice you and somebody else. It could be you and the spouse, you and your kids, you and somebody, but they did a lot of stuff. They did a lot of stuff. And somebody was also watching your patterns, like watching, like, you know, somebody's going to talk to you about something. Like somebody's like, you know, like watch your pattern, like how you do things, what time you leave the house, like switch up. Y'all are fixed signs. Don't get so fixated on always doing stuff the same way all the time. Because these energies are literally watching everything to disrupt your peace, to make you look like a fool. So anything that you would have done, like, and I know this reading is long, but anything that you would have done, like, Maybe you came out the house and you didn't look like what you had gone through, disheveled, or you were having a nightmare about something, or you was crying about something. All of these energies are leaders, right? So these would have been people who would have been like, oh yeah, okay, they must be depressed. So we're gonna put something in the report. Also, when you get your reports and stuff, make sure you get copies of the doctor's notes. Make sure you get copies of the doctor's notes. Make sure you get copies of the doctor's notes. You want to see what they wrote in it, because what you said could be significantly different than what they wrote, right? And so you want to make sure, hey, okay, you fact checking them. You're not just going in there like a zombie. You going back in there, you getting your copies of your notes, right? You want to make sure something was done. If somebody says, oh, we didn't do it, you know good and well. Let's say, for instance, because people are getting like the shots, y'all know what I'm saying. I can't say really. I mean, I can't say it on YouTube, but then it's going to create a bunch of commercials. The shot, let's just say that. Let's say you got in the shot, you got the card, the date and everything, you got the shot and everything, and somebody says, oh, well, we didn't do this shot. We didn't so and so. Yes, you did. Don't say, well, let me just take off from work again and let me go, because if they said they didn't do it and I remember them doing it, you got a card, don't you? You got a card, you wrote it down. If you're journaling, start journaling. Start writing stuff down. Because somebody else who has your back, they've been writing stuff down themselves. They've been sitting around talking to these people. They're like, okay, well, go look up such and such, such and such. You got some people that have your back, and these are also professionals that have your back. Remember, you're not the only person that's operating in your North Node, or you're not the only person that answered the call in your life. The fact that you're even talking about something, or you're inspiring people, or you're free from something, you could be a free-spirited energy. You could be a person who inspires more people, you know, in their work. You could be, people could now go back to being passionate about their work because they feel like you're not judging them, whatever the case may be. Like, people are like, okay, they ain't judging people. Like, what? Who the heck cares about who somebody somebody cares about who's sleeping, somebody sleeping with, but you don't. But somebody is empty. Right action. So literally, this right here means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. Somebody that you're connected with, once that group of people got everything they needed to get from them, and that person said, okay, I need to go ahead and cut some people off. The people were just like, they feel like they was out of the water. Oh, good, they cut us off. We know we're not gonna have to pay for what we did. Hold on, Cowpo. Karma's not finished. Source is doing an energetic clearing, so you can be liberated. Just start praying for people. Just start praying for people. You could have been sitting at home in a lotus position. These people were doing all kinds, they were breaking all kinds of spiritual and physical laws. I mean, gone crazy. Yep. You may have even seen a dragonfly, right? You could be a prayer warrior. Pray for everybody involved. Pray for everybody involved. I firmly believe that some of these people who was involved in this, all they could see was money. Big money was involved in something. That's all they could see, was big money is involved in something. Pray for them too and their family, because who knows what kind of karmic cycle they in. I mean, who knows how the karma gonna come back and hit. But you got big money coming in. Everything is not about money. So some things you can't get back. If some of you all, you know, your freedom was let's say you had to spend a night or a week or years or whatever in jail, whatever, you know, these energies felt like this is right here, karmic cycle. They felt like everything was airtight. They felt like something was airtight. Let's get some professionals on this. They felt like everything was airtight. And this right here, shot. This bow and this arrow right here, somebody said, okay, shoot them right there. And 2 and 4 is 6. This could have been your spouse. This could have been your kids. Hey, okay, I need you to shoot right there. You're dealing with some people in the medical field and military. You're dealing with people that's in law enforcement. Something is so big, it's not even funny. But you got some people that have your back because they know full full, and somebody who is already spending time, they're waiting on something. Somebody who's already in jail, they're waiting on something. They're spending time in something. They have been emptied. They like, okay, hey, they about to, everybody being thrown under the bus. Literally tire tracks on everybody's back. So that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. Like I said before, if you have loved ones that's still connected to you or whatever, hold them close. Keep them tight, close with you, whatever, you know. But yeah, you're filled with energy. You're filled with energy. And but somebody was truly playing God, trying to play God in your life. They felt like, okay, well, they the king of all kings and the lord of all lords. That's what somebody felt like. Okay, we just gonna wait and pounce on this and pounce on that and pounce on this and that on all four corners. We need the root chakra, right? We need somebody that's just as far as the in the material world, like in terms of like the physical. Yeah, so for your root chakra, since we're talking about all four of this, right? For your root chakra, the basic need for that is safety, right? But somebody was attacking your safety was attacked. And that would have been your stability, your vitality, loyalty, prosperity, meaning your money, your patience, your tenacity, and career success, right? So that was attacked. So I use singer for example, right? That was attacked. Your second chakra, which is your sacral chakra, the basic need for that is variety. So this might want to attack your joy, like your mental health, your joy, your creativity, your adaptability, sensuality, so sex life, your fertility, whether you can have kids or not, something could have been attacked there. Your emotional range, sexuality, all of that was under attack, okay? Your third, and this is in the physical realm, right? Physical. The basic need for your solar plexus chakra is the need for significance. So what was significance for you? You know, what would render you powerless? What would, you know, cause you to be less confident? You know, your charisma, your strong will, your motivation, your leadership, your mental clarity, all of that was under attack. All of that was attacked. And then the fourth one would be your heart chakra, right? The basic need for that is love and to be loved. So somebody that you love, people that you love under attack, right? And so that would be, you know, attacking who or what you love, who or what you trust, who and what you felt like was healing for you, you know, gratitude, you know, who, you know, trying to attack everything, basically making you look like you weren't grateful for anybody, right? So you don't know who to attack. Okay, I'm not grateful for my mom, my dad, my, you know, attacking your whole family. In other words, wanting everybody anybody that you love at some point in time to disperse, right? Okay, oh, they think, well, we would do that to them. We don't have nothing to do with such and such. That's why I said pray for every single energy involved and let source work some things out, or whatever your belief system is. But a Scorpio had to come through. A Scorpio had to come through, whether it's Scorpio sun or Scorpio moon. But somebody was either looking at some jail time, they're currently in jail, Scorpio sun or moon, and somebody said, you know what? Nah, I'm about to pour it all out, because it's real dark, and it's some stuff that people wouldn't even believe. They wouldn't even believe half of the stuff. So it's had somebody who is a professional in whatever they do had to finally speak up, because that's the only way you would have gotten all your wishes fulfilled. Because everybody else was scrambling, trying to figure out, well, we don't know nothing about such and such. But it also exposed them and what they were secretly involved in. This right here, what they were secretly involved in. It also exposed them as well, and what they were secretly involved in and who they were secretly involved with. Because I believe some of your family members had no clue as to what was going on. They had no clue how dark something could get, that people would really, really have somebody end it, just, you know, sacrifice, and that would be a part of a sacrifice. That somebody would really do something to end somebody. But guess what? Whoever you are, you're a very powerful leader too. But somebody didn't believe that at first, until whatever your calling is. I don't know what y'all do for work, but whatever you do for work, Stick with your decision. Some people are going to be asking why, and you know, because of who's involved and how come something is closed out. Basic need, like I said, for sacral chakra is variety. These energies attack you in every... Somebody must be a very creative energy. That's why something is getting closed out and people are asking why. They snapping, going off too. So you could be a singer, you could be an artist. Number 9 connections. You could be a hermit. You could be a person who is a hermit. You could just be built a certain kind of way. You know, like when I say hermit, like you could be just a really like very patient person. I'm speaking to number 5 here. You could be a very, very patient person, but somebody's down like, I was just playing. I was just kidding. I was just playing, right? Somebody's Leo. Somebody could be a Leo moon, a Sagittarius moon, and somebody could be a Libra. It's 3 energies. Somebody could be Sagittarius moon, a Leo moon, and a Libra moon sign. You don't need people's time of birth to pull their birth chart, by the way. Just their date of birth, where they were born, and yeah, that's it. But these are the 3 energies. People are going forth. These are the 3 energies. The main ones. They creatively came up with some ideas creatively, you know, to create something. So they were like, oh no, we can go forth with something. So is it the Sagittarius sun or moon? Libra sun, Sagittarius sun and moon sign. So that's 2. A Leo sun and moon, that's 4. And then we got Libra sun and moon, 6. And that 6 is a very nurturing energy. So all of these energies are parents. All of these energies are parents, and they decided we don't want a certain community of people or their kids to be a part of our community. All of these people are parents. All 6 of these energies, deciding factors, who decide to get part of the creative committee. Y'all know when a group comes together, everybody's assigned the head of a committee. Like, okay, you're going to be in charge of the food over here. You're going to be in charge of logistics. You're going to be in charge of this. You're going to be in charge of that. You're going to be in charge of entertainment. You're going to be in charge of logistics. You're going to be in charge of this department, this department. These 6 energies, 6 again is a nurturing number. All of these energies are parents who decided money, it was, your life was worth nothing. They just getting paid. You and your kids. So, like I said, congratulations. Congratulations. You have switched tables. If people that ruthless, you don't want to have lunch with them, dinner, you don't need to talk to them, you ain't trying to create nothing with them. If they this ruthless, you got some people that already have your back. That's what I have for you. See you in the next video. Bye.